All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. You know what time it is. When we do these types of videos, it's a little bit about a rant time. We watched the Spain and the France game on stream today. Everyone that was watching with me, I appreciate you guys, man. Much love. Everyone else that just casually watches our YouTube channel over here where we talk about stuff, welcome back to another video. So what we're going to talk about tonight is overall a little bit of a mixture of a few things. The general consensus or idea and understanding of this video is the absolute disappointment that France was in this tournament. I'm going to explain to you why for a couple of reasons. Now, you probably look at me and you say, how is France a disappointment? They got to the Euro semifinals. We're going to talk about it right now. So the first situation that I want to talk about is this. Yo, my guy Rabiot. Rabiot? I don't know. You look like a freaking idiot, dude. All right? So this guy basically, quote, obviously it could be difficult for him to deal with a semifinal in a big tournament. And to reach a final at the Euros, he needs to do more than he's done up until now. Okay, now, this quote essentially, what he's saying is that, yeah, it's a lot for a 16-year-old to deal with in this moment. But Yamal has told us throughout this tournament, there is no big stage for him. He is him. He is next up. He is going to be that next guy. Just to give credit to Yamal and Spain today, they are a fantastic team. I hope they go on to win this tournament. I absolutely love the way they play football. Yamal is genuinely, I don't even understand. I mean, we could probably make a separate video explaining or trying to explain to you guys how special he is, how incredible his awareness is, his IQ. It's unbelievable to see the way this guy plays football. His understanding of the game is crazy. And just for a comparison, well, you know what? I'll get into that in a minute, okay? So, Rabiot, you don't really look too good for this, and I don't even know why you're talking because you have been horrible this whole tournament. No one even understands why you are playing, and that's why we're also going to talk about Deschamps, right? Because people think I got it out for Southgate. There's a couple managers in this tournament I got it out for. Deschamps, I haven't understood what he's been cooking for most of this tournament, tactically and substitution-wise, and what he does with Mbappe and some other players, including Dembele and Rabiot. I don't get it. So we're going to talk about that today. But Yamal absolutely cooked Rabiot. Of course, he hit him with that deadly finesse. If you missed this shot today, you might have been working, you might have been busy. Make sure you watch the highlights. What Yamal did today, and make sure you watch some extended highlights. It was incredible to see. To be honest, in this tournament, I have felt like France had the best defense in this tournament, and that's honestly what carried them to the semifinal. Theo Hernandez today, for me, was probably the best left back in this tournament, and Yamal did not care. I mean, there was even one play at the end of the game where Yamal went 1v3, and I was sitting there like, it was crazy to see. He was giving Theo nightmares all day. Theo looked really out of place today, and I thought Theo all tournament has looked crazy. You know, we saw that opening game when they played Austria, and I was like, damn, that side is crazy. France had the best defense in the tournament for me overall, but they also had one of the worst attacks, and today, by the way, Yamal said, speak now after this. That is so cold. I mean, getting eliminated out of this tournament by a 16-year-old kid carrying Spain with braces. Come on, France. What happened to you guys? Now, we're going to talk. I want to talk a little bit about this game because France, in my opinion, really sold us a false dream early on in this game. Now, I wouldn't really look too into the expected goals and just overall momentum in this game because Spain just controlled this one from start to finish, and I'm concerned for France in a lot of different avenues. France are a team that obviously was just in the World Cup final. They won a World Cup recently. You know, they're a team that's always hanging around in these games and just competing and have been really one of the top tier nations in football for quite a while now. I mean, they're always there. France really rarely has a bad team. This France team in this tournament, I mean, I think they're genuinely lucky to get to the semifinals, and I just want to keep the energy consistent because they have been one of the most boring teams to watch, and they really sold us a false dream today. We actually saw France come out in the 4-3-3. Griezmann doesn't start, and they just looked like they're going for it. They really did, and that's why they got their early first goal. Mbappe's out on the left side where he loves to play on that left wing, crosses a perfect ball into Colomwani, and I have felt like through a lot of this tournament, what they end up doing with Deschamps is at some point, either at the start or at halftime, Deschamps puts Mbappe at the 9, which makes no sense with the players they have, and they've just got Koundé crossing in the ball to that position all game. And I say this all the time. I feel like England randomly just crosses the ball, and Kane is either still playing CDM or he's not even close to being a guy that's going to be there to head the ball and or at least jump over center back. So France to me have been so confusing in this tournament. And I think it's such a waste if you were a fan of the French national team. The defense that you guys had this tournament, the amount of times Mike saved you, how good Teo played, how good Koundé played throughout this tournament. Saliba, in my opinion, has been the best center back in this tournament. And I thought Upamecano overall was not very full of mistakes this tournament. So their back line, what they put together, and what we saw at Conte through a lot of this tournament was incredible. Don't look at match ratings. Conte today, some people will sit here and say they took Conte out because he was messing up the attack, whatever. I thought Conte is always incredibly effective, and I think Deschamps really messed up today with the sub. I'm going to explain to you why. Now, Momentum Tracker will tell you France had the momentum. France, to be honest, had one chance at the end of the game with Mbappe, and I don't know what's happening to Mbappe. I don't know what's going on with so many of these players on France. I have no idea. This guy Dembele now is 27 years old. If you guys didn't know that, I'm going to say that one more time. Dembele is 27 years old. This guy has not improved much. I mean, he had that one game where he finished Barcelona, but his end product is so bad. The amount of times he goes 1v1, and he's got all the tools to be successful, all the years, all the clubs he goes to, all the transfer value, market value, money he gets, and we don't see any improvement really with this guy's end product. It's such a disappointment. This guy, when he was 18, was one of the most expensive players in football, one of the most hyped up players, and was supposed to be up next. I feel like if we go back in time to the ages of when he was at Dortmund, he was way more effective back then. I don't know what's going on with some of these players on France. He's been horrendous all tournament. Horrendous. I don't understand. Playing him on this team has been a waste. It has. I don't understand because we see Barcola coming on at the end of the game, and Barcola, composure, end product, dribbling, it looks more effective. It looks like he knows what he's doing. When we watch Dembele goes 1v1, cooks somebody, the ball is going randomly. I don't know. It's like 1 out of 10 passes or crosses gets completed, and if it's completed, it's like he's shooting the ball at a teammate's foot. It's like he's shooting the ball at the net, and he shanks it, and it ends up with a teammate. The amount of times this guy is not playing the ball to someone's feet, and look, yes, a part of it is on Dembele. Another part of it is on, I don't know if it's Kolo Muani, I don't know if it's Mbappe. The chemistry up there between those three and the lack of them having an attacking center mid is so noticeable on this team. They don't have enough numbers in the box. I can't tell you how many times I've seen France where Dembele goes 1v1, Mbappe goes 1v1, crosses the ball. There's like 6 defenders and 1 attacker, and the attacker's not even close to the ball. So a part of that is on Deschamps. I don't know. I felt like I know Giroud is probably not in the greatest of form, and that position is a little, they've been trying Thuram and they've been trying Kolo Muani. The problem is they just haven't found who they need for that spot, and it's not working. And the midfield is too defensive for France. They played way too defensive all tournament. They didn't need to play that defensive because of the greatness of the back line they had. The largest mistake for me today with France, 3 situations. Number 1, Deschamps takes out Conte. No idea why. Now, people will argue, okay, he takes out Conte in that sub and puts in some attackers. It doesn't matter, though. If you are playing Spain, who are gods of possession, a team that will always just outpass you and make you look easy, which is what they did today, you need someone pressing through that midfield. The sad part about France today is this, just watching this game. The effort and the passion and the overall lethargicness that this team had when they were down 1 goal with 30 minutes left was embarrassing. Embarrassing. If you are a fan of this team, you should be so pissed off at France right now. They don't even look like they had a care in the world. And a lot of this tournament, they didn't look like they had a care in the world. I felt like their back line was clutching them all the way. And it just got them to this point, but it wasn't going to be enough to beat a team like Spain, who's been playing by far the best football and overall the best team in this tournament. The care that France had today was so poor. I can't believe, like, a France standard team with these names in this team, right? It was so sad to see the lack of, when Griezmann's coming on in the 62nd minute, and Camavinga's coming on and making dumb fouls, and Griezmann's coming on and like walking. Like, there's times where I'm seeing Spain just passing the ball around, and you would argue, okay, Spain is just too good. They're going to pass them out the game. At least the sprint or two would be nice to see out of France. They just look like they don't even care, and they're ready to pack their bags and go home. I mean, we saw less passion out of France today than we see from England. I swear to you. So that's another one that, yeah, I just, overall, this tournament with what Deschamps has been trying. I haven't liked how defensive his midfield has been. I feel like he's been playing way too defensive, way too anti-football, wasting such a team. Look at this France bench. Camavinga, Barcola, Griezmann, Pavard, Zaire Emery, like Coman, great player. We don't even see Zaire Emery much. It feels like it's a waste. It feels like there are players that should have been playing in this tournament, and Deschamps went for the transfer value, big name players over who is actually on form, playing well. It was disappointing. It's been, for me, to see France. Look, I picked Spain to win this tournament pre-tournament. I have been so disappointed with France in this tournament. Every game, it's just, this game today was the most exciting game France played. Most of their games have been so boring with the style they play. And look, people argue, okay, what are you going to say about Spain controlling the game and passing the ball around at the end? Can you blame Spain for going up 2-1 and noticing France is tired and doesn't give a crap and just going to pass them out the game? I would have done the same thing. The last thing I want to talk about is Mbappe. I'm going to talk about this in this part. I'm worried about this guy. Because I've felt like I have seen better versions of Mbappe. Now, I am somebody personally that follows Mbappe on his social medias. I feel like Mbappe in the last year to year and a half, especially since that World Cup, has really made his way as a ultimate tier 1 A-list celebrity around the world. I think if you ask other athletes, whoever you want to ask celebrity level, they will know who this guy is. This guy is going to, courtside NBA games, parties around the US, parties everywhere. As a player that I have deemed is the best player in the world, I'm very disappointed because I, as a football fan, really look up to Mbappe. He is one of the most electric, amazing talents in the world, and he's going to be turning 26 this December. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, Mbappe got onto the world scene. We all knew about him when he was at Monaco. We did. We all were like, okay, this guy is special. And then we see him in the World Cup in 2018, and we're like, oh my God. Like, this guy is going to literally be the next GOAT. And now the clock is ticking because I felt like he should have gone to Real Madrid last year. He didn't do it. He stayed at PSG for another pointless year of drama and all this, and they didn't get anything done with probably overall the most team-oriented, composed PSG team they had. Now, they had crazy players in the past. They had Messi, Neymar, all these guys, Di Maria. This year, I thought they were actually the most balanced and good as a team. And I felt like in the group stage, Zaire Emery saved them in that one game. They needed a goal. When it came down to it, versus Dortmund, he didn't get it done. And what we'll have to say is that if you're the best player in the world, you need to lead your team. I don't feel like Mbappe led his team in this tournament. I was so excited in the 9th minute today when he had that amazing play and got Kolo Muani that goal. I was so happy. I'm like, okay, finally the mask is off. We are going to see him. We're going to see Mbappe. I'm worried about this guy. Like, I'm not going to be the guy that's too reactionary and says, has he peaked? But for the standards of Mbappe, now let's be honest. In the last couple months, what has Mbappe still been? He's still a top 5 player in the world. But Mbappe, for me, there was a point for the last year or so, specifically since that World Cup in Qatar, where I was like, this guy is like a lot better than everybody right now. And I'm really starting to go back on that now. Like, we just didn't see that from him this tournament. And I know you could say, okay, well, he's got Dembele up top. He doesn't have that same old Giroud up top. He's not really got that. But I don't know, man. Something is just missing with him. And I know we could give him the benefit in this tournament and say, look, the guy has a broken nose. I mean, we could give him that. But my analysis is this, guys. I know he's being a strong kid, a tough kid for playing. If you're out there playing, at some point we got to say, okay, if it's really that painful, he wouldn't be playing. So I'm worried. He's going to Real Madrid. Now, I'm not worried about what he's going to do at Real Madrid or how much he's going to win because, let's be honest, Real Madrid will be insane next year. But the level in La Liga is going to be even better next season. Way better. But I think Barca will be better. I'm just sitting here wondering, like, he's accomplished a lot really early on in his career in terms of, getting a World Cup at that age. Like, Messi didn't even get that World Cup till so recently, right? At 35, yeah? So Ronaldo never got it. It's not easy. Like, the only guy that was that young in his career that really got that World Cup at that age was Pele. So I thought when we saw Mbappe win that one that we were going to be seeing an international GOAT for sure. And I felt like this year in this tournament, with the teams that we have remaining, Spain is really the only like incredible team, and they're not like an all-time team. They play great football and they're better than a lot of the teams in this tournament. But being the best player in the world and what we expect from him, I've been really disappointed. Like, have his priorities just not been on football this year? He doesn't look the same. And I would even say that moment we had in the 85th minute with him where he was 1v1, and look, me for the entirety of watching Mbappe, especially in the prime of him and the peak of him like 2-3 years ago, a year ago, I'm like, he's scoring this. You all know what he's going to do. He's too fast. He's going to cut inside. He's going to either go near post or far post. And for him to like shank that shot, it's just, that's been the story of it. There was even a chance in the middle of the game where he cut inside and like the shot was, he just rolled the ball to the goalkeeper. And I'm like, a lot of the success of France in the previous couple tournaments has been Mbappe just taking over and being like, I'm him. Think about that World Cup final. Dude, France didn't do anything. Mbappe just went crazy. He went crazy out of nowhere. They were out of that game for 60, 70 minutes. And then he's like, look, I'm the best player in the world. I'm going to go do my thing. So there's a lot. And, you know, you can sit here and protect certain players. The fact of the matter is, I think Deschamps played way too negative with this team in this tournament. Way too negative. What are you scared of, dude? All right, look at your team. Look at your center backs. Look at your goalkeeper. Why? It's one thing if Deschamps looks at this team and says, I got to play this way because I got to run 3 defensive midfielders because our back line sucks. Come on. Come on, man. And the defenders on France deserve all the credit. They got them to this point. Not Deschamps, not Mbappe, not anybody. I thought Conte with the double man of the match, I would put him in a part of that because Conte ultimately, to me, I'll always think of him defensively. But I'm just disappointed with these guys, man. This team is on the level of talent, like transfer market and value-wise, as England. And just the overall like excitement I had in the first 10 minutes that I thought they were going to do something today. And just we saw the end of the game. France didn't care. They looked the same they've been all tournament. It's all credit to Spain. It's so disappointing from so many players on this team. I don't even understand. Can somebody explain to me the final like part here? Those are my DMs. Can somebody explain to me like why Rabiot is talking out all players? What has he done this season, or what has he done in this tournament? Anyways, that's me, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.